but offers no easy answers. Harry Belafonte has stepped into the shoes of the late Danny Kaye as ambassador-at-large for UNICEF. He's just returned from his first trip in that capacity. We'll talk with him about that trip and his new position. As we continue our four-part interview with Betty Davis, we'll hear an especially tense exchange in her split with her daughter. Rosemary Clooney will be here, as will the racing Petties, Richard and Kyle. And we'll talk with a man who's been told he has 6 months to find a new heart or die. And who, with his wife, has founded an organization to make the public more aware of the need for donations. All that and much more ahead this Thursday morning on Today, Deborah.
Okay, Brian, thank you. And that's our news for this Thursday morning. I'm Deborah Norville. Thank you for joining us here on NBC News at Sunrise. Have a good day.
It's called a silent epidemic. 1 in 15 children has it. Lead poisoning. Why has it returned as a problem for the middle class? Tonight on NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Right here at Burnsville Nissan on Buck Hill Road, $66 delivers any brand new or used car or truck in stock. And during our giant used car sale, you take your pick. This 1985 Skylark or this 1985 Sentra. Look at that. 66 down, $146 a month, or a low $56.66. Every Friday and Saturday night, we're staying open for your shopping convenience till 9 p.m. Come on in or give us a call at 435-5550. Burnsville Nissan.
The TV11 Health Fair encourages you to set goals for good health. And they're ready with some good advice on how to stop smoking, reduce your fat and cholesterol intake, maintain your proper weight, control high blood pressure, and reduce stress. Your healthy goals will be clear, and you'll learn how to achieve them when you visit one of over 70 sites located throughout 11 countries. The TV11 Health Fair, April 4th through the 11th. Sponsored by MedCenter Health Plan.
The Today Show, weekday mornings at 7 on TV 11.
Brian Anderson, and we're all students at Bethel College.
Good morning, 11 country!
Now, the Twin Cities' fastest-growing television news, News 11 Sunrise.
Good morning. It's Thursday, April 2nd. And welcome back.
What show is this? Anyway?
This is Sunrise.
Boy, has it been a long time.
I know. I mean, we haven't seen you in a while.
I know. It's good to be back. Good to see you.
Good to have you back.
You're looking good.
Well, thank you very much.
Despite our temperature of 23 degrees, I think I heard.
It's been cold while you were gone.
It doesn't seem fair, does it? Well, Sally Patrick has all the details. Good morning, Sally.
Hi, Sally. Good morning. Today will be another cool one, although lots of sunshine. It's a pretty morning, and we have a real good-looking weekend coming up. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks much. Topping Sunrise, a high-speed chase that damaged 2 state patrol cars has 1 man in custody this morning.
That chase lasted for more than 20 minutes overnight. The chase ended at Highway 10 and Interstate 694 around 10 p.m. Police say the chase began in northeast Minneapolis after an officer tried to pull over the suspect. Squad cars were damaged after police pulled in front of the suspect to slow him down. Michael Turbano faces charges of fleeing police and property damage. Police say Turbano may have been drinking.
Minneapolis police will begin day 2 of their Curfew Crackdown. And tonight, the Guardian Angels will join them to help keep kids 15 and under off the streets after 10 p.m. The 2 groups will be focusing on 7-Eleven stores, especially those in South Minneapolis. Police say the store's gathering spots for kids after hours, causing problems for store owners. But even with the tougher enforcement, many kids don't feel threatened.
Does it scare you that the cops are going to pick kids up if they're out after curfew?
Nope.
Why not?
You run, you get chased, and have fun.
So it'll be fun for the cops to try to pick you up.
Police told News 11 a special unit did pick up several juveniles overnight for violating the curfew law.
In Hennepin County Court today, Robert Thomas will be sentenced for robbing a Brooklyn Park home and killing the family dog. It was on March 18th that Dick Teague's home was robbed. Valuables were taken from the home, and the dog was found stabbed several times. Robert Thomas has pled guilty to the crime. He faces charges of theft and damage to property. News 11's investigative unit has learned 23 discrimination cases have been filed against First Minnesota Savings Bank. 23 longtime workers of the bank were allegedly fired, and they say they were let go because of their age. The merger of First Minnesota and Minnesota Federal into First Minnesota prompted the workers to be fired. 61-year-old John Kennelly was fired 13 months ago after 25 years of service.
The end result of the plan was that it adversely affected the older employees. Many of the people that they dismissed had quite a number of years of seniority. Some of the people had over 40 years of seniority with the firm.
News 11 investigators obtained a copy of a statement from First Minnesota to the Human Rights Department denying all the charges of age discrimination. So far, probable cause has been found in 15 of the cases. First Minnesota officials refuse to comment because the cases may go to court.
Minnesota farmers may finally get some relief from state lawmakers under a bill that faces a final vote today. News 11's Capitol correspondent Dennis Stauffer has a preview of what's happening at the state capitol.
Good morning. Both the House and Senate meet in formal session this afternoon, and one item that's expected to come up in the House is aid for Minnesota farmers. The long-delayed interest buy-down program faces a final vote there. A plan to allow the tilapia fish to be raised commercially in Minnesota will come before the Senate Fish and Wildlife Committee. And welfare reform is on the agenda for a House committee. Also today, a Bemidji lawmaker says Paul Bunyan will appear before a House committee to lobby on behalf of a bill that would commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Paul Bunyan statue in Bemidji. That's a look at what's coming up at the legislature for this Thursday. For Sunrise, I'm Dennis Stauffer.
Also at the state capitol today, the House Governmental Operations Committee considers creating a statewide public employees insurance plan. That will happen this morning at 8 o'clock.
The fate of the highway bill will be subject to debate at the nation's capital today. Senators will take another stab at whether to sustain or override President Reagan's veto. In the Senate yesterday, lawmakers voted to sustain Reagan's veto by a narrow margin, a narrow victory for the president. He claims the bill is a budget buster. Death of the bill would force states to delay or even junk hundreds of road construction projects. It would also put the brakes on an increase of the speed limit to 65 miles per hour. Locally, road construction on I-394 faces the prospect of another delay due to the presidential veto of the $88 billion federal highway bill. Officials say work on a 1-mile segment of Highway 12 is contingent on passage of the federal bill. The estimated cost of the section's work is $35 million.
Ice on the move on Lake Mille Lacs. It's causing problems for homeowners this spring. Ice flows pushed up onshore by strong winds are damaging homes along the lake. So far, 4 cabins have been crushed, and one homeowner found her basement filled with ice. The flows have stopped moving, but for the time being, authorities are monitoring the ice until the winds die down. Those are incredible pictures, aren't they? Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that.
Nothing like that around here, fortunately.
No.
Thankfully, no. All the ice on the lakes are melted with the warm weather that we had earlier. Now we're back to kind of a cool nip in the air. We had that yesterday, and I think again today we're going to be just a little bit on the cool side.
That's right. And you know, Sally, we want to talk about, before we get into your weather segment, all these beautiful flowers we have on the set.
You bet, despite the cool weather, it looks pretty springy here.
Yeah, beautiful
Daffodils. They're here for the American Cancer Society's Daffodil Days event. That's a fundraiser all week long, and they're selling the flowers around the cities, and the funds will go to research. And
yeah, we urge you to contribute.
That's
we really
right.
do.
And don't put them outside because it's
Too
too
nippy.
Cool. Too cool for that 23 degrees and clear skies. Winds from the northwest at 13 miles an hour. And that makes the wind chill, too, so you definitely need the heavier coat as you head out this morning. Relative humidity, 47%, and the pressure is on the rise. Satellite picture shows just a few clouds around the northern Midwest, and it should be a nice day, lots of sunshine. Temperatures, though, starting out on the cool side, 10 degrees, International Falls, 25, and some light snow flurries around Bismarck and North Dakota, 29 North Platte, also a few flurries there. We'll have a lot of sunshine today, but still with a cool wind out of the north. Things just a little bit on the nippy side. However, it should be warming up through the weekend as the winds lighten up. Here's our forecast for today. We'll have lots of sunshine. High temperature around 40 degrees, though. It won't feel that warm with that wind out of the northwest up to 25 miles an hour. For tonight, clear skies and another cold one. 19 degrees will be the overnight low. Friday, though, sunshine up to 48 degrees, and I think the rest of the weekend looks absolutely gorgeous with temperatures going into the 50s. Should be real nice for this weekend if you're planning anything to get outdoors. Hope you can enjoy that. I know I will.
Maybe this was it, huh? Man, the cold snap, and now spring's going to be here, and
Hopefully.
then summer, and then warm.
Hopefully. So optimistic.
Thanks, Sally.
This morning on Action 11, a report that may save homeowners some money. Mike Igo warns about a mortgage gimmick that may be costing you money, but it shouldn't.
When it comes time to sell your home, one of the documents you'll need is an abstract of title. Traditionally, it's been kept by an organization involved with your mortgage one way or another. But under a new Minnesota law, those companies are required to transfer it to the homeowner. Businesses like Metro Title in St. Paul are returning the abstracts to homeowners at no charge. But another company tried to bill a viewer. He didn't think he should be required to pay, and he's right.
There is no specific provision in the law that indicates a company can charge a fee for the return of your abstract. We have advised people seeking the return of their abstract to contact their lender and ask them to return it to them at no charge.
These same companies, of course, can store it for you for an annual fee. Another option is a bank safe deposit box. And how much can you expect to pay? An Action 11 survey shows the average size bank box costs between $15 and $25. And professional storage companies charge about $20 to $30. However you choose to store your abstracted title, make sure it's in a safe place, because a typical replacement can cost you $700 or $800. And if you can't find it when it comes time to sell your home, that's an expense you'll have to swallow. This is Mike Igo, Action 11.
And if you have questions for Mike, write to Box 111, Minneapolis 55440.
Next up on Sunrise, tempting buys for your sweet tooth.
And for travelers, a look at how much a dollar will buy in different parts of the world. We'll be right back.
Hello out there.
Who, me?
When was your last good breakfast?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Try the Embers for breakfast 24 hours a day. Nowhere, even in the finest restaurant, can you find a better breakfast.
Say, that looks good.
And the Embers guarantees your complete satisfaction, or your meal will be cheerfully exchanged.
No kidding.
Embers breakfasts are made with only the freshest quality ingredients used by fine restaurants at Embers' low, low prices.
I'm hungry.
Isn't it time you remembered the Embers for breakfast, day or night?
Help! We are overloaded with 1986 patio furniture, now selling at half price. I'm asking you, no, I'm begging you, come to the Lidio Garden Center this Saturday and Sunday and save.
Get double savings at Saxon Ford with our huge double discounts. 1, get fantastic Ford factory discounts, and 2, get super Saxon discounts. For example, buy a loaded F-150 4x2 or 4x4 and get a $1,046 factory discount plus a $954 Saxon discount. You save a total of $2,000. These F-150s are loaded with an AM/FM stereo, headliner package, and more. All at a fantastic $2,000 off. They won't last long, so hurry out on the double for the double discounts at Saxon Ford, now 30 years strong.
Will the owner of a wrecked, sun-faded, corroded convertible please move your car to another state?
If you're cracking under the pressure, here's how to spell relief. C-T-E-R. Make a date with late night.
You know, we're the only thing on NBC right now.
Sunrise time is 6:11. The number of ads in newspapers is up 6%. That information according to a survey taken in February. The index measures the volume of classified advertising in 51 major newspapers. It is considered to be sensitive to changes in the demand for labor as well as general business conditions.
Fingerhut announces a layoff, the first in 10 years. Kara King has more on the cutbacks, which may be permanent, Kara.
And they may be, John, Amy. Fingerhut by Friday will lay off 150 workers. The layoffs will affect people in the mail-order company's shipping and packing department. Fingerhut is St. Cloud's largest employer, providing jobs for nearly 3,000 people. The reason given for the cutbacks? A slowdown in orders and an increase in worker productivity. This morning, the stock market opens after heavy trading yesterday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 11 points at 2316.05. Volume 183 million shares. And in London, gold opened the same as it was at Wednesday's close. The price this morning, $419.20 an ounce. The U.S. dollar was up 0.15 against the Japanese yen. It closed a little over 147 yen in Thursday's trading on the Tokyo Foreign Exchange Market. Now, one way to compare the dollar and the yen is to compare the cost of some products. In a survey by Money Magazine in late February, a double room in a first-class hotel cost $175 in Tokyo and $200 in New York. To rent a car in Tokyo, it costs $275, while in New York, they're $170. And McDonald's Big Mac fries and a shake and a fry shake and a Big Mac bag lunch is another barometer. It would cost $4.60 in Tokyo, $3.95 in New York, and $2.92 in Golden Valley. Businesses all over the city are filling up with sweet little reminders of Easter and Passover. Candy seems like it's everywhere, but for those of you who prefer to curb your sweet tooth, there's hope. Mary Stuckey reports.
Hi. Hi. Anything else for you? No, that's it.
People in the Twin Cities have found something to please the sweet tooth, and they don't even have to feel guilty about it. What's this, you ask? Well, it's called Sweet Encounter, a store in St. Louis Park that sells sugar-free and low-calorie candy. It's popular with all kinds of people.
People on diets, all of them. Monday morning's a great morning diet date, and a lot of diabetics, a lot of youngsters and people of all ages. It's incredible how many can't have sugar.
We're looking for something there that we can eat between meals, and this satisfies us. It's all different kinds of tastes and the things.
And you come here often?
We come here quite often, yeah, at least once a month or more.
There are bins and bins of sugar-free candy, especially for diabetics and those who can't have sugar. These candies are made from hydrogenated starch hydrolysate, which has a corn syrup base. There's also sugar-free chocolate sweetened with mannitol. If this isn't enough to satisfy your palate, there's also fructose taffy and candy made from sorbitol.
Sugar-free gumballs, caramel corn, and peanut brittle, sugar-free baked goods, chocolate chip cookies, poppy seed cookies, muffins.
Now that Easter is on its way, Sweet Encounter is gearing up for the holiday just like any other business. This sugar-free candy is an alternative for parents who don't want their kids to have sugar candy. They're featuring sugar-free jelly beans and sugar-free Easter bunnies. Mary Stuckey, News 11.
And for those of you who are calorie counters, it's good to know that each piece of candy is only 7 calories, and each jelly bean is only 1.5. Good news.
You think you can get your child to eat sugar-free jelly beans?
I don't know.
What, I'm going to give you one more chance here, Karen. Now, what was that again?
A Big Mac.
Yeah. Fries and a
shake.
Gotcha.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Carol. When it comes to filing your taxes, taking time to do the long form may save you some money. Money reporter Steve Crowley reports.
There's no question the short forms 1040A or 1040EZ are easy to fill out. Our chance of being audited goes down. But our chances of paying more tax than we legally have to goes up. Filing short forms, the biggest single mistake we make at tax time. Look at all the front page deductions on the long form 1040. Moving expenses, employee business expenses, IRA payments and KEO plan payments, alimony paid, even penalties paid on early withdrawal of savings. Then there's the all-important deduction for married couples who both work. Remember, for 1986, you don't have to itemize to claim these.
For 3 of these deductions, you'll need a special form that attaches to your 1040. Don't let that put you off. The forms are easy to get from the IRS, and only one of them is tough to fill out.
That's Form 2106, used to figure employee business expenses, any job-related driving or travel expenses you claim. Even if your employer pays these expenses, you could qualify for a partial deduction. File Form 3903 for moving expenses if you change jobs or relocated for the same job, as long as you moved at least 35 miles. If your employer paid most of it, file the form anyway. There are bound to be a few items your boss didn't pay. And if you're married and both work, file Schedule W to deduct up to $3,000 from your income. Special tax relief is wiped away under tax reform. So be sure to take advantage for 1986.
The point here is to use the long form for 1986. Take every credit and deduction you can. That's the only way to beat Uncle Sam legally at the tax game. I'm Steve Crowley with your Money Report.
For those of you who are senior citizens and want more information on the new tax law, we have the address for a free pamphlet. It's called What Older Americans Should Know About the 1987 Tax Reform Act. Write to AARP Fulfillment, Post Office Box 2400, Long Beach, California, 90801.
Still to come this morning on Sunrise, trouble on the Pope's visit to South America.
Brighter possibilities for U.S. farm exports.
Advice for infertile couples.
And we'll tell you what happened when the North Stars went into overtime against Chicago last night. Sports, up next.
Flowers City announces pre-season savings of 10 to 40% on the newest styles, colors, fabrics, and fashions in furniture for porch, patio, deck, sunroom, and poolside. Plus an excellent stock of rattan furniture. Shop now for best selection, including Homecrest, Malin, and Brown Jordan. Free layaway until May 30th. Pre-season savings 10 to 40% off. Flowers City, Harmar Mall, Roseville, 78th and Lyndale South, Bloomington. And now celebrating their grand opening, Flowers City, Eden Prairie Center.
to rock and roll.
Hot news from the home of the super deal. Brookdale AMC Jeep Renault announces no payments until January 1988 on any new Jeep, like this 87 Jeep Cherokee with fuel injection, deluxe bucket seats, power steering, and more. Just $240 a month. And best of all, we make all of your payments until January of '88. Plus, buy this Jeep now and take this cute little bugger home to a good buddy, absolutely free. At Brookdale AMC Jeep Renault, call 566-7220.
24 degrees this morning. The sports show is in full swing at the Minneapolis Auditorium. The exhibits are filled with the latest in sports equipment. News 11's Jeff Passold even tried out a new boat. There's also an exhibit featuring baby grizzly bears. Eventually, these cubs will weigh in at about 1,000 pounds, and this lady will not be smiling. The show runs until Sunday.
They look so cute, and they grow up to be pretty ferocious.
Yes, they do.
The North Stars, how did they do last night?
North Stars played Chicago. It was a must-win situation for the Stars if they were to keep their playoff hopes alive. And they still have their playoff hopes alive. And surprise, surprise, the North Stars put together a third-period rally and managed to come from behind to tie Chicago. The final was 4-4 in overtime. Now, the Stars need a win or a tie on Saturday against St. Louis to wrap up a playoff spot. In the beginning, though, it looked like Louis Nanning was watching another ho-hum performance by his team last night, but suddenly they came to life. New coach Glenn Sonmore led the charge as usual as he and the players got a little scuffle with the fans behind the bench, but from that point on, the game belonged to the North Stars. Down 4-2 in the third period, the winger Steve Payne drilled in the shot just inside the blue line. That was Payne's fourth goal of the year. That cut the Hawks' lead 4-3. Then, with time running out, the Stars on the power play. Ron Wilson, falling down, makes a great play, poking the puck into the net with just 6 seconds left. The Stars celebrate a rare come-from-behind effort and go on to tie the Hawks 4-4. So here's what the North Division standings look like this morning with just 4 days left in the regular season. Detroit and St. Louis are the only teams to have locked up a playoff spot. The Stars and Hawks are still tied for third, while last place Toronto is only 2 points back. Meantime, in the Patrick Division, Washington stopped the Rangers 5-1. Just 30 seconds into the game, Jan Eriksson on the breakaway. The Caps' Pete Peters stops him cold, and that set the tone for the game because after that it was all Washington. Second period now, Greg Adams beats Bob Froese to the glove side. That makes it 4-zip. A bit later, Kelly Miller tries that glove side. He beats Froese easily. Got to watch your angles, Bobby. Washington skates to an easy 5-1 win over the New York Rangers. Other finals now. Philadelphia beat Detroit 2-1, postponing the Wings' bid of winning the North Division title, at least for a night. Vancouver outskated the Kings 8-3, and Montreal defeated Hartford by the score of 3-2. Some shocking news from the New York Mets camp this morning. Star pitcher Dwight Gooden is in trouble with drugs, and he's left the team to undergo chemical dependency treatment. The 22-year-old Gooden has owned the baseball world for the past 2 seasons, although his performance tailed off a bit last year. This past winter, you may recall, Gooden got in trouble with the law in Tampa. Gooden had the option of undergoing treatment for cocaine use or face a possible face suspension from baseball. The Twins continue exhibition play today by playing the New York Yankees at Fort Lauderdale. Twins defeated the Houston Astros yesterday 6-4, thanks in part to Ken Herbeck, who slammed a pair of doubles and a homer. And the Green Bay Packers may be interested in acquiring Tampa Bay quarterback Steve Young, now that it looks like the Bucs will sign Heisman Trophy winner Vinny Testaverde. And reports out of Florida say Vinny has all but agreed to a 6-year, $8 million contract, which would make him the highest-paid rookie in history.
Took a lot of persuasion on that.
Oh,
well, to
yes.
go to Tampa Bay,
Probably didn't want that, yeah. Incredible.
They throw in a couple extra million because you have to play at Tampa Bay.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Today is Thursday, April 2nd, and on this day in 1917, the U.S. moved closer to trouble in Europe.
President Wilson asked Congress for a declaration of war against Germany. Shipping in the Atlantic had been threatened by U-boat torpedoes for more than 2 years. The sinking of American ships convinced Wilson to sever diplomatic ties with Germany and seek a declaration of war. In his speech to Congress, Wilson used the famous phrase, "The world must be made safe for democracy."
Also on this day in history, the sculptor who created the lady was born. In 1834, Frederick Bartholdi, the creator of the Statue of Liberty, was born in France. And in 1805, Danish storyteller Hans Christian Andersen was born.
And if your birthday is today, happy birthday to you. You share today with a producer, an archbishop, and an actor. Sir Alec Guinness is 73. Producer Irene Mayer-Selznick is 77. And Cardinal Joseph Bernardin of Chicago is 59.
And your horoscope for today says your speed and adaptability work in your favor. And go for a walk if you're feeling blah. I'm going to take that advice.
We'll all go for a walk
Okay.
after this show. Coming up, a breakfast for farm exports.
And where you might find traffic trouble due to road construction today. We'll be right back.
Come, feel the freshness. Tropicana Pure Premium shades your morning with a taste so fresh, so pure, so natural. Pure Premium. Only Florida oranges. With nothing added, nothing taken away. The taste could only be one. Feel the freshness. It's pure Tropicana.
Thatch, dead grass and decaying leaves. It can choke your lawn, keeping water and fertilizer from ever reaching the roots. That's why for a thick green lawn, a thorough raking is so important. With the original Arnold Power Rake on your rotary mower, you can pick up thatch quickly and easily, so your water and fertilizer can go to work. And Arnold's unique offset tines won't scalp or harm the roots. So for a thicker, greener lawn, power rake it with the original Arnold Power Rake.
The Arnold Power Rake at participating our own hardware, trustworthy hardware, Ace Hardware, and True Value Hardware.
Hi, my name is Jerry Burkhardt, and they own the Waterbed Warehouses. Remember, at Waterbed Warehouse, you pay less, a lot less. And here's 3 more good examples. Deluxe bookcase, just $179. Big selection of soft sides from $249. And a nice selection of canopy beds starting at just $799. Remember, if you don't buy your waterbed from us, you'll probably just get...
We citizen soldiers fought hard for our independence.
Now we must protect the freedoms we won and form a more perfect union.
And provide for the common defense. This Constitution shall be the supreme law of the land.
These voices, great American statesmen, citizen soldiers, are now only echoes, but their legacy of freedom endures. This bicentennial salute is brought to you by today's citizen soldiers, the men and women of the Army Reserve.
Sunrise time is 6:25. Here are today's traffic delays for morning drivers. Westbound on the crosstown between 77th and Portland, the left lane will be closed from 9 to 3 for repairs. Also, eastbound Highway 12 at Highway 100, the right lane will be closed from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for guardrail repairs. So take some extra time if you're planning on driving through these areas today.
Most of this winter, we had temperatures way above normal on average, and now we got to be way below average.
We are way below normal, and I think today and tonight will be more of the same. Through the weekend, though, we'll get up to normal temperatures, and it should be sunny and dry. Although at this point, I think we could use a little bit of rain, especially through the spring, because we have been very dry for the last few months. But in the meantime, we can enjoy it, especially this weekend as it gets a little warmer. Right now, it is nippy outside, 23 degrees, clear skies, winds from the northwest at 13 miles an hour. That's making that wind chill 2 degrees, so you'll need the heavy coat and the mittens as you head out this morning. Relative humidity is 47%, and the pressure is on the rise as high pressure builds in. On the satellite picture, you'll notice a big swath of clouds throughout the mid-Atlantic states, also the Ohio Valley. Farther north, just some patchy clouds where we are. Not too much going on in the way of rain or snow throughout the country, just some light spotty showers. Southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, and farther north in the colder air, light flurry activity in Pennsylvania and also New York State. Much of the country, though, as you can see, is dry. We have a storm system, one that passed us by over the Great Lakes, and it's creating quite a wind flow. Northerly winds throughout the state, and that's keeping us in the cooler air coming in from Canada. That'll be the case today and also tonight. However, Friday and through the weekend, I think it looks much better as far as the temperatures go. We'll take a close-up look and see what's going on across the northern Midwest. Light flurries in Milwaukee this morning, also around Marquette, Michigan. All of that around that low-pressure system as it pushes slowly off towards the east. Patchy clouds for us, light flurries in Bismarck and North Platte, but those aren't accumulating, just some real light flurries there. Basically high pressure, and we should have a nice day. Lots of sunshine, but temperatures on the cool side, 10 right now. International Falls, 21 in Rochester, and 13 in Duluth, Minnesota. The map for today shows sunshine for us if you're traveling eastward, though lots of clouds and flurries. New York State and some light showers down along the Southland. The west, though, will stay dry. Here's our forecast for the Twin Cities today. Sunshine, 40 degrees should be the high, but it won't feel that warm. Winds will be out of the northwest at 25 miles an hour. and that'll put a little nip in the air. Clear tonight, 19 degrees the overnight low. For tomorrow, we'll begin to warm up. Sunshine, 48 degrees, and those winds will lighten up. They'll be light out of the northwest. The outlook for the weekend, Saturday, sunshine, 55 degrees. Sunday, look at this, 59. And I think Monday should be at least as warm, 59 degrees. All sunny. It looks nice and dry and warm through the weekend. John?
Really sounds great. Thank you, Sally. Recapping this morning's overnight news, a high-speed chase that lasted for more than 20 minutes and damaged squad cars leaves one man in custody. The chase ended at Highway 10 and Interstate 694 at about 10 p.m. Police say the chase began in northeast Minneapolis after police tried to pull the suspect over on a traffic stop. Well, police cars were damaged after officers pulled in front of the suspect to slow him down. The suspect, Michael Turbano, faces charges of fleeing police and property damage. Police say Turbano may have been drinking. The case of a robbed Brooklyn Park home goes to court today. Robert Thomas will be sentenced for the crime. The Teagues family was devastated to find their home burglarized and the family dog stabbed to death back on March 18th. Robert Thomas has pleaded guilty to the crime, and he faces charges of theft and damage to property. The crackdown on curfew is on in Minneapolis. The goal for police, keeping kids 15 and under off the streets after 10 p.m. In one spot, officials will target 7-Eleven stores, a gathering spot for many kids. Overnight, police told News 11 that they picked up several juveniles in South Minneapolis for violating the curfew law. A hidden cost in government farm programs is increasing, and Amy is with farm editor Lessine, who will tell us all about that. Amy?
Thanks, John. The hidden cost actually is that people are abusing the system, isn't it, Les?
There are a few farmers who try to get as many dollars as they can by going around the system, and they're the ones that are causing a lot of problems. The cost of farm program loopholes is increasing, according to a new government estimate. Farmers who reorganize to get extra payments could cost the government $1 billion a year by 1989. The General Accounting Office says some farmers evade the $50,000 per farm limit by splitting their families into corporations. The GAO says only 31,000 of the nation's 2 million farmers lose those loopholes, but lawmakers from farm states are concerned that the abuses could convince urban lawmakers that farm programs should be cut. And the latest forecast for U.S. farm exports shows business could improve this year. The USDA predicts 31.8 million tons will be shipped this marketing year. That's an increase of more than 3 million tons from last year. One reason is greater demand for corn shipments to China, South Korea, and Japan. And another reason may be a smaller supply in South Africa and in Argentina. One thing that could affect farm exports is the trade bill now being debated in the U.S. House. Trade Ambassador Clayton Yeiter and Ag Secretary Richard Ling don't like the way the bill would make the Ag Department the main farm trade agency. Both Ling and Yeiter want farm trade decisions divided among several federal agencies. Soybean futures prices jumped in the Chicago Board of Trade after the spring planting report was announced. The contract for this May gained 3 cents to close at $4.99 3/4. The contract for next May gained 11 cents to close at $5.15 a bushel. The planting report showed fewer soybean acres this spring than most people expected. Wheat futures were mixed with May off a cent to 283 1/2. May corn was off a fraction to 162 3/4. The snow that caused blizzard conditions from Nebraska to Ohio earlier this week has caused trouble for farmers. Crops just planted in Illinois, Texas, and several other states are threatened by frost. And among the farmers most concerned are those in Georgia, where the peach crop is in its crucial blossoming time. On the line with me now is farmer Roland Andrews, who is speaking to us live from his farm in Barnesville, Georgia. Roland, one of the things that people have been talking about the last few days is the peach crop, and there are some peach areas near you. I know Alabama was hit hard yesterday. What about the farmers in Georgia?
The county agents report the peach crop so far is still safe. Didn't get that cold here. They haven't been hurt. That is in our peach counties south of us.
What about some of the other crops? I know we talked